so welcome back to my channel. I haven't done a baking video in like so long. If you remember like 2 years ago I used to do like these no bake recipes, but now I'm a better baker, so I'm going to use things that you actually use often. So yeah, so let's get right started. So first thing you have to do is to make red velvet cupcakes. I forgot to say that, with cream cheese icing. So first you have to preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And you can put any cooking time. My oven does that, it just depends. And I'm going to set it for a lot, like 40 minutes, because it's going to be a long time. So the first thing you're going to do is, in a bowl, combine 1 1/3 cup of flour, a half a teaspoon, just use the measuring spoons, and just level it off, of baking soda. That's going to help it rise. And there's also obviously vinegar in this, so that will react to make like that kind of red velvet cake you used to. And then 3 tablespoons of cocoa powder. I don't really like the smell of cocoa powder. It just smells really weird. 2, and then it can get a little bit messy. I'm going to do a little bit less. And then put that to the side. It gets a little bit messy. So what we're going to do is we're going to whisk it together until all the 3 ingredients are nice and combined. So let's move on to the next step. Now in a large bowl, just whatever bowl you want to use. Mine's red. 1 1/2 sticks of softened butter. And it depends how long it's going to take to cream and how softened your butter is. Mine is like a medium softened. And we're going to add in 1 cup with 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar. Woo! And we're going to take a hand mixer, or you can use a stand mixer, but it's kind of heavy to bring up, so I'm just going to use my cheap hand mixer. And we're going to whip it. And the bowl is ready! So you just want to cream it up. Let's move on to the next step. I just finished creaming the butter and the sugar, but we had a malfunction. My hand mixer kind of broke because it's pretty cheap. So we had to go to my beautiful KitchenAid silver hand mixer. We just creamed that up, and this is what it looks like. It has to be really fluffy. And let me show you guys how fluffy it should be, like this. It should be like something you would probably put on your pancakes, but not really butter with sugar. That would taste really weird. So now we're going to take our eggs and we're going to add them 1 at a time, mixing in between. So I'm just going to get a bowl because you don't want any shell. Just take a bowl. It can be a Scooby-Doo bowl. It can be whatever bowl you want. Just to make sure there's no shell in there. And then you can just put it over there. Yeah. Shell is sticky. Little shell gets everywhere, so you want to be careful. Just make sure there's no shell, and now we're going to mix it up on a low speed, about a 2. And as you can see, it's going to get kind of coagulated, I call it. So now, while it's mixing, crack your egg. Oh my god, the egg just went on the table. Let's grab another egg. That is so, you guys can see that? The egg just cracked on the table. I never had that happen to me before. That is so crazy. Now we're going to add our egg. I'll be back for the next step. So that was the egg and butter mixture that we just added the eggs to. So now we're going to add 1 tablespoon of red food coloring. You can use any red food coloring you guys like. You can use natural, organic, whatever you want. And then pure vanilla extract. So that's 2 teaspoons of that. So we're going to start with our red food coloring. It's a lot of red food coloring. So just make sure you do it over the bowl because this could get messy. And it's going to take just keep squeezing because it could take a while. Weird noise. Try to get as much food coloring as you can. I didn't get a full tablespoon because this is a lot, but it's okay. Alright, now we're going to add our vanilla. 2 teaspoons. And now we're going to mix it up. Make sure your KitchenAid's in lock. And here's what it looks like when you mix it up. It gets nice and red. Even if you don't have enough red food coloring, it'll still be okay. Let's move on to the next step. The next step is to take a half a cup of just whole regular milk, and we're going to add it with 1 teaspoon of vinegar. This is what it makes a red velvet cake. I'm not sure the real details, but you should research. I'll try to research it for you guys. You're going to add 1 teaspoon of that. Just like the vanilla, but instead of 2 teaspoons, you're going to add 1. It's just a classic thing you have to have. And usually about a little. Oh, I hate the smell of vinegar. It smells so weird. Now just take a spoon, or whatever you want, and just whisk it up. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use the dry and the wet, and you're going to add it to the mixture. I'll be back when we're putting it into the cupcake. Now that our red velvet cupcake mixture is all mixed and smells so good, we're going to scoop it into a cupcake tray lined with some liners. And just take an ice cream scoop or whatever you have handy at home. And I'm going to show you guys how to fill one. Just fill it up 3/4 of the way about. And it's okay if it gets a little too dark because no one's perfect, you know, and it can get a little bit messy. And don't be ashamed if it just like if your cupcake mixture too light or too dark. Unless it tastes good, you know. So about that much. Now I'm gonna put it in the oven at 350 like I preheated before for about 18 to 21 minutes. And I'll be back to make the frosting. The first step of making your delicious cream cheese frosting, like that's one of my favorite frostings, it's the butter and the cream cheese. Start it at a low speed and for a few seconds and then go higher. I'll be back for the next step. Okay, so now we're gonna add the powdered sugar and vanilla. So first we're gonna add the vanilla, and this is what it looks like after it creams. And don't worry if it's a little bit chunky monkey, because it will cream a little bit more in the process. You can always scrape it down and stuff. So I'm just gonna eyeball this, but in the recipe link down below I have the full measurements. I like eyeballing vanilla. Just a little bit of vanilla. Just mix that in a little bit. And slowly, while it's on about a 2 only, when it's on a low speed, you're gonna add scoops about 3 to a 3.5. I only have 3 because usually my frosting comes down a little bit sweet. So let's put it in the pipe. So now we're gonna pipe the cupcakes. I'm using a star tip with a coupler. If you guys want to see a tutorial how to make a piping bag, request down below. This is my first time using a real piping bag, so let's see how this works. Make sure you take your time.